Topping your news first tonight, there's a severe shortage of corrections officers at the Manila prison compound, and court monitor attorney Bradley Klemm is not happy about it. During a recent trip down there, Klemm says he was dismayed to learn that one of the units where level 1 offenders are being kept, including some murderers, is only being monitored by one corrections officer.
Federal court monitor Bradley Klemm in court papers says he felt obligated to write a report on his most recent visit to the prison compound and turn it over to the District Court of Guam, which has a 20-year-old stipulated order on the Department of Corrections. Klemm says it's because of what he recently discovered. In one of the units, Post 17, Klemm says, quote, "I noticed that there was only one security guard for the entire facility." Post 17 houses up to 60 inmates at a time, which include level 1 offenders, such as murderers. Klemm also notes that despite an increasing prison population, the number of corrections officers has remained the same. For instance, in 2011, there were approximately 585 inmates staying in 14 housing units. At the time, there were about 192 corrections officers. Today, the number of inmates has increased by nearly 200, with now 780 inmates staying in 18 housing units. But the number of corrections officers has not increased. In fact, it's gone down to just now 190 officers. Apparently, Klemm says, the number of security officers has not kept up with the growth at the facility for the number of inmates and detainees. What makes things worse, Klemm points out, is as much as 13 corrections officers have been removed from their regular job duties so that they could work on construction for the upcoming Festival of the Pacific Arts in Paseo. Klemm says it is his opinion that, quote, "there is a shortage of security guards at the present time at the Department of Corrections Manila facility, and that this problem is aggravated by certain officers leaving the facility and going to work for the government at FESPAC," end quote. Klemm also obtained letters from Commanding Officer May Kitigua dated February 15th, 17th, and 18th, in which she lists the names of 13 corrections officers who have been assigned to work on FESPAC construction. Quote, "FESPAC shall be supported by the officers 7 days a week until completion of FESPAC, and the officers are cleared to return to platoon duties via the appointing authority's directive. Duty officers are to support and adjust duty rosters if necessary to ensure mandated requirements are being met."
DOC spokesperson Jeff Lemos says the memorandums have been updated since February, and there are now only 10 officers working at FESPAC. He also says they only work 5 days a week and not 7 days a week. Lemos says that even with 10 officers on FESPAC duties, the department is continuing to maintain civility of operations. A plan of action was taken prior to the officers being assigned to FESPAC, he says, and that includes using auxiliary support such as internal affairs and transport to fill the duties of the FESPAC officers.